What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and oh my gosh, Virizion got an upgrade and it is incredibly strong. It is one of the top Pokemon for Open Ultra League, and there's good reason why. Double Kick, new fast move on it, along with Leaf Blade and the legacy move Sacred Sword. This thing is incredibly spammy, has some decent bulk and attack, and it has such good coverage. Now, you guys can build a lot of teams around this. I just don't have XL Pokemon, so I have to use what I have. Charizard and Walrein, but I can see you guys thinking, if you have some of these really strong XL Pokemon, trust me, try out Virizion. It is insanely good. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. All right, getting into the first battle, we have Charizard on the lead versus Empoleon. Obviously a bad lead for us, so we're going to go straight into that Walrein, as it is going to be the safe swap on this team. Now they decide to stay in, build up to a Hydro Cannon basically, and then come in with the Swampert. So we're just going to go ahead and look to try to get switch advantage if we can, but we don't want to give up shield advantage, because remember, Empoleon does have a charge move ready to go, and Virizion with the grass fighting typing will obviously not like Drill Peck, but we do get two shields right there. So this is a very unique situation where I'm actually okay with losing switch advantage because I did get two shields. I don't care if I lose switch, I have two shields. So we're gonna go ahead, let these charge moves go through. I'm going to go for an Earthquake right here because I don't think I'm going to be able to get to two Icicle Sears, but I do. But unfortunately, they do get to a Hydro Cannon. So we're going to let this go. It is going to hurt, but we survive with literally one HP and a dream to get off the Earthquake. But this is not going to be enough to take out the Swampert. So Swampert hangs on, and that is fine with me. We get it extremely low. We're going to come in with Virizion here and counter down. Or not counter down, double kick down. And it makes sense here on Virizion having double kick, and we do see a Togekiss come in, so we're going to swap into Charizard, but Empoleon comes out. So this is actually a very tough situation. I have two extremely hard counters polarizing myself right now. Empoleon on Charizard and Togekiss on Virizion. Take your bets now if we can pull this off. Blast Burn is really nice here, going to be doing a lot of neutral damage against the Empoleon. Yes, and we farm down. Now Togekiss is going to be coming in. We are running Dragon Breath, but it's going to be a race to the Blast Burn. Can we get to it in time? No, we cannot. Togekiss takes us down, but Virizion, ladies and gentlemen, this thing is an absolute monster. This is probably going to be one of the worst situations you're going to be facing off against. Charm or flying type moves, right? Taking super effective damage, maybe like Gust from a Pidgeot. Leaf Blade right here as well is going to be resisted. In this situation, you want to be going for Leaf Blades. Both, or the Sacred Sword is double resisted, so you don't want to be throwing that. Plus, it does a little less damage than Leaf Blade. But my goodness, the energy gain from Virizion is so good. Think of like an offensive Umbreon with the coverage with Leaf Blade and Sacred Sword. This thing's an absolute monster. That is game one. Good game, very well played. It didn't matter if you were hard countered right there. We were able to take it. Getting into game two, we got a Trevenant on the lead. So I kind of like this matchup, and they decide to swap out into Swampert. So we're going to come in with the Virizion right away, and we're just going to clap it. We're just going to go ahead and load up on energy, let this charge move go through. It doesn't matter. Even if it's Sludge Wave, we should be okay, but it's not. It's just going to be Hydro Cannon. It does no damage. Now, what's cool about Virizion is, yes, it is going to be extremely weak to fire, right? So maybe a Talonflame as well could do well against it. But if you want to, it runs with Stone Edge. So do not sleep on this thing. If you see it's safe swamp and you bring a Talonflame in, you better be watching out because it could have Stone Edge. They decide to bring in Galarian Stunfisk. Now, with our typing, grass fighting, we resist the Rock Slide and the Earthquake. So Galarian Stunfisk is just going to be tickling this thing while we do super effective damage with Double Kick, and they do a great swap to catch the charge move now on Trevenant. But ultimately, it does not matter. We are going to bring in the Charizard right here and just power it down with Dragon Breath. Now, I do like running Dragon Breath with the Virizion team because it helps cover Giratina Altered a lot better. Plus, it does well against losing matchups, maybe against Swampert, where you're doing that neutral damage, which is really nice. It does, it's a little bit worse against something like Registeel or Trevenant, where we're doing either neutral or resisted, but you still have Blast Burn for that, so the Dragon Claw is going to be taking out the Trevenant. Galarian Stunfisk comes in, so we're just going to go ahead and let this go, and we're going to let Virizion take this game because it is, it's so good. I was so surprised how strong the combination of Sacred Sword, Leaf Blade, and Double Kick was on this Virizion. It is nutty. And there's Cobalion as well, which we're going to dive into. Hopefully, I do think I have one, but I want to try that out tomorrow. But we're going to go ahead and go for this next Sacred Sword and close this game out. They still have one shield, so they will be putting that up, but it just doesn't matter. I got 2 shields, so we're going to go ahead and stop both the charge moves here and take down the Galarian Stunfisk. But my goodness, you guys need to be trying it. And even if you don't want to try it and you face off against it, just be warned, this thing puts in work. Even as you guys saw against that Togekiss, it's so beautiful. So good game. All right. Moving into the next one. Mind you, this morning I tried this team and went 10-0 with it. That's not the reason why I'm trying to sell that it's good. It's just Virizion is so good. But we got a Togekiss now on the lead. Again, Dragon Breath in this situation is not ideal instead of Fire Spin. But ultimately, Blast Burn here is going to do a lot of damage, where if they let this go, we should be okay. They decided to let it go, perfectly fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and give up a shield now on the Ancient Power and farm down. We want to maintain Charizard to maintain some of that health and energy, but they do get a last second boost with Chunks a little bit more health than I really wanted, and we do see a Machamp come in. So hopefully we can get 2 Dragon Claws in time. I'm just looking to chip away the health here on Machamp. We do get a shield as well, which is nice, and hopefully I can get to 1 more in time, which we do. Now, let's see how this can play out for us. There's a Machamp on the field with a shield and a decent amount of health. Still has a 3rd, but it has loaded energy. So let's see what the counters and Cross Chop will do here to Virizion. Obviously, we can't take in the Wall Rain. Let's see what it does. Now, granted, this is not Shadow Machamp, but Cross Chop, not too much damage. Virizion can tank it right here. This is really nice in these neutral matchups, especially when we're behind. This is a really nice situation. They do bring in a Wall Rain, which is perfect. We have Leaf Blade. Now, Leaf Blade and Close Combat, or not Close Combat, you can run with Close Combat if you want to. Leaf Blade and Sacred Sword both do super effective damage, but Leaf Blade does 70 damage as a base damage, and Sacred Sword does 60 while they are the same energy. So in those situations, you want to be going for Leaf Blade. Now, we do have the Wall Rain come in. We caught the charge move as well, so that's going to be resistant. That's a good game. They can't recover from that, and they will surrender. All right. Woo, moving to the next one, we got Charizard on the lead versus Empoleon again. So we will be swapping into that Wall Rain right here. And let's see what they decide to do. They build up 3 waterfalls right there, and then they swap out into Shadow Skuntank. They're asking for a boom. Are you guys ready? We're going to go for the Earthquake right away. I do not mess around. If you're going to bring in something weak to Earthquake, I'm booming you. Here we go. Boom! One-shots it right there. You'll love to see it. All right, so we just completely took switch advantage. They are going to bring in Trevenant now, so Wall Rain obviously looking really strong. And even though it did get a nerf to Ice Cold Spear, costing 1 extra Powder Snow, it's still a solid Pokemon, especially for the Ultra League, so be sure to give it a try. And we're going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. I got myself switch advantage and shield advantage, so there's no need to give up a shield right here, as I will get to 1 more Icicle Spear to get the Trevenant extremely low. And we will close this game out with Virizion versus the Empoleon, as we will bring in Charizard now into the Trevenant, and we're going to let that Shadow Ball go through as well. There is no need. They're going to throw the Shadow Ball here. I'm going to swap right away as well into Virizion. That way I can double kick down to get some extra energy here. And then the Empoleon is going to come in, and that's a good game. We're doing super effective damage. We have 2-to-1 shield. They do have energy advantage based on the 3 waterfalls they did at the beginning of the game, but it does not matter because we have 2-to-1 shield. So that is going to be a checkmate right there. Virizion, such a strong Pokemon. And again, like I said earlier in the video, if you guys have really strong XL Pokemon that you guys want to bring, put Virizion onto your team. Theory craft what you can do, because this Pokemon is just that good. We will go ahead and double kick down, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. And again, I want to try Cobalion. Cobalion as well is steel fighting, so you could definitely use it as a safe swap. It does have double kick, it does have Sacred Sword, and then you could have Stone Edge as well on safe swap. Now we got Armored Mewtwo here on the lead, so I am kind of concerned about how much damage these Confusions and Psy Strike or Rock Slide will be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and give up a shield right here and look to go for the Blast Burn if I can. I believe I go, nope, they decide to swap into Swampert, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in Virizion right here, and I'm just going to go for the Leaf Blade right away. I want to get this Swampert out of there. I don't want to deal with the mind games of, is it a Sludge Wave, is it not? Boom, we take it out. Absolutely eliminated. Now, hopefully I can get to a Leaf Blade right here. Yeah, we do get to it in time. We just need to chip away the health here of Armored Mewtwo because it is very tanky. It can do well against our team, but as long as we chip it down, that Dragon Breath from Charizard is really going to help out. Now we have to let this Psy Strike go through. It's unfortunate. Boom, Virizion goes down, but it did its job. It took out the Swampert. Now, we need to be very careful right here. We're going to go ahead and go for a Dragon Claw. I don't think it's going to be enough. They are, I think, one Confusion away, maybe two from another Psy Strike, so I should be able to Dragon Breath down. Yeah, we do Dragon Breath down. Final Pokemon is going to be a Charizard as well. So we're just going to unleash these Dragon Claws here for neutral damage. In a situation, if they had no shields, I would go for Blast Burn. It just does so much resisted damage. It would do about 50%. But since they have two shields, I need to be going for Dragon Claws. We're going to bring in the Wall Rain to lock this game down because they are running Dragon Breath as well. And all we need to do is just shield a Blast Burn. Even if a Blast Burn did land, we'd still take it. So that's going to be a good game. We're going to go ahead and shield and then Powder Snow down. But yeah, Virizion absolutely locking down the Swamperts. Does well against anything weak to fighting. And you guys saw what the resisted Leaf Blades did to that Togekiss. Alright, so we got Sirfetch'd now on the lead. So positive lead for us, but I do need to be concerned about a Brave Bird. And they are looking to stay in, which tells me maybe they want to try to Brave Bird me. So I think this was enough. I think it might have been one more, but they do go for the Leaf Blade, so it was a good shield bait on them. And they're deciding to stay in, and they decided to go for the charge move right away again. So I will let this go through as it's going to be another Leaf Blade, which is totally fine with me. Now the Dragon Claw here, we're going to undercharge it. Because I'm going to go ahead and go for a Great. I don't want to take it out, but they decided to shield, which was very surprising to me. Now, they bring in a Togekiss here, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Blast Burn. Probably should have held on to this energy and just gone straight into Wall Rain, but the Blast Burn does a lot of damage where I can now Powder Snow down before they get to an Ancient Power, which is always nice, which means I have energy now on Wall Rain for the Sirfetch'd. So we're going to be able to get to this Icicle Spear, force that final shield now from the opponent if they want to keep the Sirfetch'd alive, and they do. So we're going to go ahead and go for another one. Something in the back must be weak, either another Flyer or a Dragon back there. So this Icicle Spear now does take out Sirfetch'd, and final Pokemon is going to be Giratina Alter. That's beautiful. We're going to be able to get to two Icicle Spears here as we do have one shield. And the Dragon Breath energy gain there on Giratina Altered isn't as good as Shadow Claw, but it does do a lot of neutral damage against Dark-type Pokemon, which you would otherwise be doing resisted damage with Shadow Claw. So it's a give and take. They decided to go for the Shadow Sneak, which is fine. I'm going to get to this Icicle Spear here in time, and then we're going to swap out into Charizard to Dragon Breath down and close this one out. So really didn't need Virizion there in that one just because of how strong Charizard and Wall Rain was against that whole team. So good game, very well played. All right, moving next one, we got another Swampert here on the lead. So we're going to go ahead and swap out into the Wall Rain now, load up on energy. They decide to swap out into an Armored Mewtwo this time. So we have to be careful about Rock Slide and Dynamic Punch. Psy Strike still does a lot of neutral damage, but what I'm looking to do is try to take switch advantage right here if I can. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to give up a shield here. Rock Slide's going to hurt us. It doesn't one-shot us, but what I don't want is them to Confusion me down and have energy, right? That is the deadliest thing, especially with Charizard. I'm only having Dragon Breath and them having shields. We need to take switch advantage right here. So I will give up two shields in this situation. I'm hoping that we get a shield right here, that they think they're low enough where they're going to try to give one up. No, they hold on. So this is where we got to commit it. We got to risk it for the biscuit. We're going to go ahead and double shield our Wall Rain and farm down. That way we have a lot of energy here with the Powder Snow. Farm down nearly at an Earthquake. So they decide to bring in Houndoom. Very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and go for Icicle Spear for the shield bait, knowing that they have two shields, so it's safe to give up a shield here. We do get one, and now I'm going to race to try to get to this Earthquake if I can, but they do get to the charge move in time. I believe this is going to be Foul Play. It's having Snarl, Foul Play, and Flamethrower, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Charizard now. And let's see what we can pull off. They decided to go for the charge move. Oh, man. Foul play. This hurts. Houndoom is glassy and super spicy. So look at how much damage that does. That's just deadly. They decide to swap out into Swampert, which is perfect for me. And they decide to throw early, which tells me they may not have Earthquake. But they do, or not Earthquake, Sludge Wave. But they did have enough energy there because of the load up when I swapped in Walrein, which is fine. So they're going to go ahead and go for another one, but we're resisting everything. This is what's beautiful. We're resisting the Hydrocane. We resist the Earthquake. We're overloading on energy. That Houndoom is Dark Fire, so the Sacred Sword will do super effective damage against it. We get the Leaf Blade off. They decide to shield. We go up for one more double kick. That way we're one fast move away from Sacred Sword there against the Houndoom. This Leaf Blade takes out the Swampert. Boom! And the Houndoom comes in, and now we Sacred Sword it. Such a beautiful combination right here. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. Boom! Takes out the Houndoom. Really, really fun Pokemon to use. I highly suggest that you guys use it. Again, did extremely well this morning with this team, but like I said earlier, I don't have access to the best XL Pokemon, so if you guys do, look to bring Virizion into your roster because it is just, it's so good. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have tried this Pokemon yet in Go Battle League. What'd you guys think of it? And give Cobalion a try as well. We're going to be running that hopefully tomorrow, but I don't know if I have enough Stardust or Candy. That's the troubling thing. I need double charge moves. I might, but we'll have to see. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.